GPT in Business Central. Let's figure out how they did that. Hey, I'm Eric, and one of the hottest topics these days are, of course, AI and GPT and all the advances that are happening in this area right now. And Business Central is up there on the forefront as an app now has GPT functionality built in. But how did they do that? How is that something we can use? So let's go poke the bear or whatever it is. See what's there. And I have, that's Visual Studio. I don't think we're going to use that. I think we are going to, we are going to use that, but right now I want to go here. So this is the item card, and you can see that up there is a new thing, the marketing text, and look at that. There's like a fancy thing going around it, some animations that I haven't seen anything else. So anyway, so this is clearly a fact box, and something is happening, and we can say create with Copilot, because that's kind of how Microsoft are branding. This is not ChatGPT, this is Copilot. And on the item card, we are able to let's create with Copilot, see what happens. But I think what's happening is what is stated here. Create draft based on this item's attributes. Preview. And we even got the achieve Parisian style, Paris guest chair, black. Well, so far it's not wrong. The Paris guest chair black is the perfect way to achieve Parisian style in your office. This elegant chair is crafted with a leather seat and blah blah blah. I guess I can edit it. What happens then? Oh, then we get into a bigger text. It's the perfect way to achieve Parisian style in your office. What's wrong with a Commodore 64? Its dimensions of 70 centimeters in depth and 75 in width, and the sizes. So the idea is that, let's save this. So we have that one. The thing goes around, continues. Let's quickly fire up the good old. So this is the entity text fact box part 2011. Okay, and this is in system app. So this is not a base app thing, this is a system app thing. That would mean that if I go to AL apps on GitHub and I go into modules, system, entity text, source, Azure Open AI Implementation Code Unit, Copilot information page. But hang on, let's just go back to BC for a second. So if I just type Copilot here, what happens? Copilot administration. Okay, so before I start the video, I ran through this this thing, which was basically what I did. Actually, let me see if I can. I don't know if I can do that again. I hit create with Copilot here, revisit, and see that's also a new, start typing and stop typing and start selling. But hang on, this is a new layout of. So what is this? This is not the item card. What is this? Is this a page? No, this is just some sort of dialogue. So stop typing and start selling, and then I go next, and we get a teaching tips kind of thing. I can go back. So this is part of teaching tips now. But okay, got it. Going back, select this to go back where you were. So if I click here, take tour, then I just get the normal tour. I don't get the fancy first splash thingy. Hang on, did it even do it? Retake tour, describe for items, cost, track prices, go to next page, open new window. So this is the weird thing, that even though this might be in a tour, because it's a sub page, there's something about page part that does not get included in tours. Oh, sidetrack. Anyway, so there is a thing, and that thing seems to be outside AL-ish. But we have we have FactBox. Let's go and look at the entity text FactBox part, and we can, you know what, we can do it here. If I downloaded symbols, so I will. So somebody was saying, "Hey, Eric, use AL Explorer," and so sure, I'll do AL Explorer. And you can see I even typed in something here, but and this is something I'm gonna suggest to Microsoft, because right now you cannot type a filter here. So you need all the object numbers that are something that's unless there is a fancy syntax that, if you guys know how to filter that on object IDs. Do we need to be sorting on the column? That makes no sense. Well, right now I'm just gonna do the AZAL, because then I think we can get closer to what objects we need. So we had page 2011. I'm opening base app, and I just told you guys that this is system app. 2011 entity text FactBox part. There is entity text, so that this is not a control add-in. We got an entity text preview style can create. Entity caption, suggested feedback, dismiss. Okay, so I think what we have here, because clearly we're not seeing there's a group. So here we are seeing two actions. Let's just see if we have an action. We have create for Copilot, and we have edit. So we have the two actions. So that's fine, but in here we have create draft based on this item's attributes. Based on this. So I think what and Microsoft has done this a couple of times with new features where they kind of, they do all the fun stuff outside of AL, so we have no access to it, which kind of sucks. But maybe we'll get access. So I think sorry, let's scroll up again. So the entity text, entity caption, suggested feedback with approve suggestion, dismiss suggestion. All these things are just input into a magic page sitting behind the scene that Microsoft has access to that we don't. So what is happening otherwise? Set context, that's something about, because this is clearly the same thing that can be used in multiple places. So are we able to add this thing ourselves? Let's just check the let's check the item card. So if we look at the item card, entity text fact box, and set context, database item, rector, system ID, entity text scenario, marketing text placeholder. So I forgot if we have, do we have on the customer in this one? Do we have marketing text on the customer? Okay, how about we we see what happens if we put this onto the customer card. Go away, layout, add first fact boxes like that, and then we need to go, well, we can actually just use it here, entity text part page, that will be 2012 fact box part, sorry. That was not what I was looking for. Let's just go back to, it was the item card. Eric, come on. So this is on after get current record. So of course it's visible, by the way. Trigger on after get current record, current page entity fact box, and this time it's customer, and we wanna pass system ID. Sure, marketing text is fine. Marketing text placeholder txt. Should we get the nice thingy? Create a draft based on this attribute preview. Oh, sure, that looks cool. Let's grab a label like that. On this customer's attributes, but there are no attributes. So is that you know what? Here goes nothing. F5. And it has to go to a the cloud sandbox we're working on. So one thing I did notice that we can do it is that if we go look at those like there's only a implementation code unit. There's no public facing code unit, so we can't hear, but I think we can we can see it here, right? So this is an access internal, so we cannot, because my money is on that somewhere in here. Generate completion max tokens is tenants, send completion request, send request. So here we're calling HTML client. Okay, so but all this is out of reach. Anyway, what happens on our customer card now? So we have added the fact. Did we? Where did we add it? Sorry, we added on the customer list, didn't we? So now we have School of Fine Art. Let's do School of Fine Art. What happens here? I don't see a breakpoint or an error so far. See, we get the fancy thingy. I want to do that on my... Oh, there's a break. Ah, crap. Let's see what happens. There was no handler to provide information for this entity. Contact your partner. Hang on, that's me. Copy details. Copy details. Oh, this is slightly different in the 22. Entity text implementation generates suggestion. So do we need to add a handler? Oh, hang on. So this is Entity Text Implementation Code Unit 2012. Let's go back and see Entity Text Code Unit. That's 2010. There. And there were no, what was the error again? There were no handler. There was no handler. No handler to provide information, no handler error, which is not used. That is kind of interesting. Huh. That was the browser search function didn't pick that up. Entity text on request entity context. So there is a entity text code unit that we need to subscribe to. Okay, let's do that. Here goes nothing. Entity text sub code. Wow, code unit. There we go. Open AI GPT hacking. So we need to subscribe to a code unit, and the code unit was entity text. Was it? Entity text, code unit entity text, on request entity context. Interesting. Oh, hang on, are we, because now we're in, there we go. So the difference, so in BC21, this has to be a text. In BC22, this can be a, this is actually an identifier. Skip, true, true. Okay, so what can we do down here? Source scenario, source system ID, source facts, handled, text, text tone. That's a lot of things. That's a lot of stuff that we need to consider. Var facts, var handled, text format. So that was a var also. text format, and what's the last one? Text tone. Text format equal text format. See, the side note here. This is why the AL's code suggestion copilot is driving me crazy at the moment. I'm trying to live with it. But here's the thing. I think, totally side note, sorry, it's late night here in British Columbia, and I think the whole implementation is wrong, because we have IntelliSense, we have a language engine running, compiling and suggesting and know what's possible next. Then we get this other thing on top, coming with sometimes good suggestions, sometimes totally off suggestions. I want those two to work together. I do not want Copilot to suggest anything that the IntelliSense can clearly say, that's not an option where you're standing, right? Or the other way around, that when IntelliSense has option for what we're about, in this case, these 4, send those 4 options to Copilot and say, hey, these are the 4 options you have right now. Which one do you suggest we use? I think the whole implementation is wrong. I think those two needs to be tied together, totally different than it is right now, where it's 2 totally independent things that's kind of just fighting for my attention. Sorry, side note, that will be a video at some point. We clearly want a paragraph here, right? Text tone. So now it says neutral, but that's not an option. I would like inspiring. And source, what is source scenario? It's marketing text. Okay. Source system ID, we know that table ID. So I think we should probably, to do this proper, we should do source source table ID of, and then let's do database customer. So we only do this for customers. There we go. And then we can, well, we clearly need to say handle true, otherwise we're breaking stuff. But facts, so now we need to tell it something. So what can we do? What can we do? We could say so we need the customer. So customer, wow, customer. Can I guess what I want to do? I want to do get by system ID, source system ID. And we can do facts dot add, and I think customer name should probably be written out like that. Facts dot add address customer address. Facts dot city customer city, and then customer calc fields balance. Which one is, can you remember? There's one of them is a calculated field and one is not a calculated field. Balance is calculated field. Facts add current balance customer dot balance, and I think we need another end just to and this has to be text, so format that. Here goes nothing. Here goes very much nothing. It needs to kill this text file here. Let's go to this one again. Okay, and I'm just going to switch away while I do the authentication, because for some reason I have to authenticate all the time. And according to Microsoft, I am the only one in the world with that issue. But I also need to do the app and everything, so stay tuned, my friends. Stay tuned. It's like a suspense thing, if this will even work. Sometimes, sometimes I try stuff out before I record a video. In this case, it's not the case. In this case, I hit record and then started to figure out what this is. So I do apologize that we're already 26 minutes in. But I want to do the School of Fine Art again. Create draft. The service needs to be configured in the OpenAI setting page. Would you like to open it? Yes. Did we get a breakpoint? We got a breakpoint. Endpoint model secret. Oh, so okay, so Microsoft. So because this is not one of theirs, we cannot use their GPT account. Hang on, I thought I had something here. And I do not have a GPT account yet, or an OpenAI Azure service thing. I have applied for one, but they are handed out on a on some sort of priority list that I'm clearly not on. So maybe that stops here. What was the message again? What was the message again? Is there something we can do anything about? Create draft. The service needs to be configured. Let's see if we can go over here. It was not in this one. Was it in here perhaps? The service needs to configure. No key has been. Would you like to open it? Oh man, sometimes, if not Azure OpenAI setting is configured, set defaults. Oh, I think there is a table called the Azure settings here. And there's probably something in here that's saying where you're allowed to use it. Dang it. Set defaults. That looks pretty. Set defaults is configured caller module info. What is called module txt? So send completion request column module. Did we specify column module in our there's too much going on here now. Go away, customer. What did we specify here? So we specified set context column module info. So what is column module info? Module info, okay. Nope, we're not. That's too bad. I kind of thought I had it there for a second. Anyway, as soon as I get a key, we're gonna play some more with this, and there'll be follow-up video. But interesting. So it's there. There's a lot of code written. So far, it's very exclusive, just for Microsoft, clearly. But since, you know, the dialogue we saw at the end, where I could enter my endpoint and my secret and stuff like that, means that, hey, it's designed for somebody like us to use. We cannot use Microsoft key to generate text, which is fair, I guess. It's kind of the same thing they have with some of the other AI thing, where there's some stuff you can do on their AI model, and other things you need to plug in your own. Anyway, this was not supposed to be a 32-minute video, but I kind of just got caught up in it. So let me know in the comments below how you feel about all this use cases, and I will see you in this video where we'll do some more AL hacking. I'm sure you're gonna like it. Take care. Bye.